What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Y'all saying the title's going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it. So we went over this yesterday. It says here, Jasmine Crockett says the new United States House map in Texas will draw her out of the district. We all know that, but things has gotten crazy today. Definitely has gotten crazy today. This from Devory Dorkins. Video he posted. Sitting Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett publicly calls the president of the United States a piece of. I'm gonna let the video. Y'all know I be having to watch myself. I don't really like too much, cussing on my channel now. I'm not about to be a hypocrite and say that I never did. It never was cussing on here, but I try to limit it. Because
the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of okay, we know that. Yes, he is. But in a functioning democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is we are absolutely, they are the highest court in the land, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves, so it's time for us to do it for them.
I'm not even gonna lie. It seems more so of like panicking. You know what I mean? I feel like it's more so of panicking because she knows that she's about to lose her seat. Honestly. That and just the simple fact of like what is going on, with Democrats as a whole. Jasmine Crockett continues her mental collapse and celebrates Texas Democrats acting like thugs by fleeing Texas to delay redistricting. I'm sure many of y'all do know that. But let's check it out together.
This bill is going to continue to move on the Senate side because the Senate side is still in, but the House is not in. And as we know, it's got to pass both chambers before it can get to anybody's desk. So as of right now, there is nothing that they can do as it relates to the House. I am so very proud. Please, please, please look up these amazing state representatives. Show them some love. Encourage them, because this is really hard to make the decision that you're going to leave your family behind as you go and hide out, because we got a rogue bootleg criminal attorney general who absolutely is like wanting to be Trump 2.0 himself, and he wants to put warrants out for people, even though like he's the one that was under federal investigation for years, and he's the one that had felony indictments pending for years, and of course was avoiding prosecution for years. Yeah, because like that's what makes you real.
But I feel like still like that's not that, and that's what I hate. Like, you can't keep on bringing up. First of all, you bringing up they try to bring up stuff in the past, a lot of it not true, and then on top of that you have them constantly saying things like this, and it doesn't matter. We talking about right now. We talking about today, and we gonna get more into that too.
MAGA is like, you got to be about this thug life. You got to be like cheating on your wife. You got to at least be going to get impeached if you ain't been impeached, because he was impeached. He just wasn't convicted again. We've kind of seen this play out before. Anyway, but he got the nerve to talk about who should be arrested. Give me a break. Kind of like, the orange orangutan, the Timu Hitler. He on the same nonsense too. Bro, you the real criminal. Like, stop coming for people that's out here in these streets just trying to make this country really work by going to work, and so you grabbing them up at work. That's a whole other issue. Anyway, the point is, I am currently in Arizona, and the other point is they thought that they were going to put that terrible map on the floor tomorrow in the House and get it passed, and they are not going to be able to pass that map on the House floor tomorrow. So I'm really excited, really proud of these amazing Democrats. Please look them up. And please make sure that you show them as much love as possible. I'm sure they will give you information about how it is that you can support them on this journey. But again, this is bigger than Texas. This is about all of us. This is about making sure that there can be real checks and balances, because some people have decided to check out of their constitutional oaths and have decided that they were going to check into the wannabe Hitler life.
Let me show y'all something. So we continue, and there's reasons on why I'm leading up to what I'm about to show y'all, and I find it hilarious. Not even gonna lie, because I feel like a lot of, obviously the Democrats that left, and fled Texas, they thought it was so much of a joke when they, obviously they said, they're issuing out warrants, and gonna be making arrests, fines, and all. Take it as a joke, but let's check out what
we've seen Texas Democrats try to use these quorum breaks before, only for them to fail, like back in 2003 and then in 2021. How will this time be any different?
Well, in the 2021 quorum break, actually, I would argue that Texas Democrats were successful in forcing Republicans to walk away from some of the more extreme parts of the voter suppression law that were being contemplated at the time. They still moved forward with their efforts to try to suppress the possibility of a free and fair election in Texas. This is what they do. But the Texas Democrats were successful in reducing the extreme nature of what was being proposed. But this moment does require, an extraordinary response, because this is an extraordinary act that Republicans have been ordered to undertake to try to gerrymander the Texas congressional map as part of an effort to rig the midterm elections. Wolf, that's what this is all about, because Donald Trump, House Republicans, and the Texas Republican Party, they're all running scared because they have failed the American people.
So, Hakeem Jeffries is literally saying that Republicans are running scared, but you literally have all these Democrats running scared that hopped on, and we're gonna get to that too, on a jet that I'm pretty sure is charging $17,000 an hour. We're gonna get to that, but Republicans are running scared. I'm telling y'all, this is the confusion. This is the things that I continue to try to show people. I'm telling y'all, the things that they say, the things they do, is I'm telling y'all, bro, it's outrageous. This Governor Abbott confirms that Democrats are facing second-degree felonies if they refuse to return to the Capitol and vote on the new U.S. House map. Check it out.
Today, to all of them, in a letter to them, you said, in addition to abandoning their offices, these legislators may also have committed felonies. What is the felony? What are the penalties for this?
So very simply, it would be bribery if any lawmaker took money to perform or to refuse to perform an act in the legislature. And the reports are these legislators have been both, they sought money and they offered money to skip the vote, to leave the legislature, to take a legislative act. That would be bribery. And so the facts will have to come out. But I think based upon comments made by legislators themselves, they face a possibility of facing bribery charges, which is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. There's one way to cure that, and that is if they get back to the state of Texas and make quorum today at a hearing that we have at 3 o'clock, they can cure themselves of any quid pro quo that would subject them to potential bribery charges.
But as we continue to go forward, this is right here. The letter says Governor Greg Abbott says he will take the steps to remove any Democrats from the Texas House who are not in attendance tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So it is 6:25 Eastern time now. Like I said, I do have good news. I'm sure many of y'all have seen already, but let me go here. I want to make sure I'm showing y'all the right stuff now. But check it out.
Nays, the motion prevails. The sergeant at arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest if necessary until further order of the House. The hall. Members, under the rules, while the House is under a call, any member who wishes to leave the hall must have written permission of the Speaker. The chair is providing written permission to be entered in the journal for each member registered as present on today's roll call to leave the chamber and return tomorrow at 1 p.m. Please return at the appointed time. Mr. Guerin moves that the House stand adjourned until 1 p.m. Tuesday. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned.
Y'all got it here. Texas House passes a motion to issue arrest warrants for the Democrats who fled to Illinois. This is literally everywhere. I'm not even gonna lie. You can look this up if y'all want to as well. We go right here. And there's many posts. So y'all can look this up. Literally says break and arrest warrants approved by the Texas House for 51 Democrats who fled to halt Texas redistricting. So this is literally everywhere. I literally was waiting, and y'all see it here. It's multiple posts. This post by Sarah Fields says a motion to issue arrest warrants has passed. So y'all see it. Texas Speaker of the House Burrows has stated that the members will be arrested. Even the Democratic member hosting a fundraiser in Austin, Burrows says DPS should be invited to the fundraiser. So y'all see it here. These are, if y'all look here, it says here, this is a post from Benny Johnson. The Texas Democrats fled their state in a $47 million jet. This jet costs $17,000 per hour to operate. This means that the flight to Chicago costs nearly $100K. Texas Republicans need to launch an emergency investigation into who paid for this stunt here. So I can see clearly this is the jet, and these are the Democrats boarding the plane. Says here, this Christian Collins, Texas Democrats, climate change is real. Also Democrats flee their jobs by chartering a private jet that costs $15,000 per hour to Illinois. So it's $15,000 to $17,000. But I'm telling y'all, bro, like, it's multiple. They're posting multiple pictures of them getting on this private jet. Pretty insane. But this is another post from Benny Johnson. Posed by Benny Johnson, saying and Texas AG Ken Paxton says they're investigating who owns the private jet Democrats used to flee Texas. And, let's check it out.
Here, and I want to just start off the top and show the plane, please. Show the plane. There's this really expensive plane, Mr. Attorney General, that Texas Democrats used. It's up on screen right now. It's a $47 million jet that they fled from. It cost $17,000 per hour. That's nearly $100,000 to get from Dallas to Chicago. Now, they were dumb enough to take all these selfies on their private jet. Who's paying for this? Is somebody funding an insurrection in Texas, Mr. Attorney General?
We don't know. It certainly looks like it. And either way, we want to know how it's going to be paid for. They're going to have to report this at some point on their campaign finance reports. And during session, typically you're not allowed to take contributions. We're in a special session, so they can take contributions, but they're going to have to report it, and we'll know exactly who gave the plane.
Is that legal? It seems like so. Let's say that there's let's just say there's a mysterious billionaire. All right, fill in the blank. There's a mysterious billionaire that comes in and says, "I'm going to give you this private jet. I'm going to cover this jet." Is that legal? You can legally just like stop the state of Texas from working? Right. If any billionaire wants to come in and pay for every Democrat to leave?
You ask a complicated question that's never been asked, or we've never dealt with a billionaire coming in and offering up his plane to fly Democrats out of their responsibility in Texas for showing up and representing the constituents. So this is a new question that the courts may get very soon.
In the news,
wild, not even gonna lie, it's definitely wild. A lot of people are telling you, people are saying bribery. People are pretty outraged about this. Sounds like bribery to me. I'm telling y'all, that's what it sounded like to me. I don't know, but I definitely feel like not even trying to be funny, that it definitely needs to be investigated. Not only to mention that a lot. And they I guess they thought it was planned or something, because there are warrants out for their arrest, and arrests will be made, fines, everything. So it's not looking good, but it's all good over here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.